wilderness. It has called men and women across the country and into its vast unknown for generations. Over the past 4 months, I've only been able to sample small excursions into the boundless, untouched lands of Washington. That is about to change as I head into one of the most remote patches of land in the lower 48, the Olympic Peninsula. Our journey starts on Whidbey Island, my home for the past few months. We are heading to the Coupeville Ferry Terminal to avoid a long drive through Seattle. These routes are actually part of the state highway system, allowing for 11 million vehicles to continue their travels annually. So getting into your slot here, now I know that this is something a little different for a lot of people. Don't let it intimidate you. I got my reservation online. I just did a Google search for Washington State Ferry and selected my date, my departure and arrival, and they gave me the schedule. I had to answer a few questions about my car, its length, its height, and then made the reservation. They gave me a confirmation number, and then I just pulled up here. They ask you to be 30 to 45 minutes early for your scheduled ferry, and I was 45 minutes early and there's barely a person here, but they just took my name and swiped my credit card and I'm in. They told me which lane to park in, and then when the ferry arrives, after it unloads, we'll just drive up into it and kind of explore the ferry. I'm gonna get the camera ready in case there's any marine life out there to take pictures of while we're on the crossing. This is the MV Kennewick. At 273 feet long, she can carry up to 64 vehicles at 15 knots at a time. She makes the crossing between Coupeville and Port Townsend 20 times a day. I'm just kind of waiting here for a minute. No one's getting out of their cars. I'm assuming we're all packed in here nice and tight. The stairs to the passenger deck are right here in front of me, so we'll head up there in a minute. Just want to make sure they're not going to try and get us to squeeze any closer before I get out of the car. You can wait comfortably inside the ferry or venture onto the outer decks. Just take note that the inside can be a bit chilly. I'm heading outside on deck to get our first look at the snow-capped Olympic Mountains. So one of the things that I'm really enjoying is seeing something new. Now, you don't know this, I've been on Whidbey Island for 4 months, and I'm down to my last few weekends that I can go out and explore the state and see what's out here. So today's Monday, I have the next 2 days off. That's why we're out here on the Olympic Peninsula. And wow, it's going to be a sunny weekend. It's going to be cold at night, but it's going to be sunny. So I'm hoping to stop at Walmart and get some camping fuel, some 1 pound propane tanks for my tent heater. Apparently this was a very popular weekend to go camping because everywhere I went they were sold out. So I'm hoping a little farther out here towards Port Angeles I'll be able to find the 1 pound propane tanks I need. If not, it's okay. I've got enough to heat the tent on low throughout the night, but I'd rather have the option of cranking it up if I need to. But anyhow, let's keep on going, and I'm trying to make as much time as I can here, because this is a very popular campground that right now has very limited camping spots. And I can camp out in the National Forest if I needed to. I'd prefer not. I really want to try and get one of these campsites that overlook the Pacific Ocean for the evening. We'll see. Once we exit civilization, we enter the 633,600 acres of the Olympic National Forest. This wild and beautiful landscape is a breath of fresh air for this explorer, who is weary of living in a hotel room. The ever-towering pines fill the air with a freshness that only the wilderness can bring. Accented by snow-dusted peaks and mountain lakes, my whole attitude goes from the rush of daily life to the peaceful enjoyment of this adventure. Well, we have a vampire sighting over here in the window. Little display. Other than that, no bloodsuckers, no werewolves, hardly a soul in town. Okay, so we're here. So loops A, B, and C look like they're open. So I'm gonna go find them. I missed getting the last cliffside campsite by about 20 seconds. Not a big deal. The sound of the ocean will still sing me to sleep tonight. It's about noon, so I'm going to sub the tent and get a bit to eat before I head down to the beach for our first photo shoot. Alright guys, so if you were following me when I was on the drive up here to Washington, kind of got a little cold. So the big problem is the side of my tent is nothing but air vents. This is a summer tent, so we draped some of these nice warm blankets over those air vents, try and cover them up and try to hold more of the heat in the tent tonight. Comfort can go a long way when you're roughing it. I've replaced the air mattress that lost most of its air on a cold Nevada night while on my way to Washington. Once your body touches the ground, the heat is just pulled from your body. Alright, so got another one of the blankets I'm insulating the tent with that I'm going to put on the bed. Got this, which is a poncho that's fleece lined. Got a 30-degree bag right here in case I need it. So hopefully I'll be able to stay warm tonight. But this guy is what I'm counting on. This is my Mr. Heat. My Mr. Heater. Come on, tough buddy. Alright, so this thing did an amazing job on the trip up. It's just that the heat was leaving the tent, so I'm hoping by having those major air vents covered, I'm not going to have any issues with heat or too much heat escaping. I will have a vent open here and a vent open there, just to make sure that we get air circulation. But let's see if it works tonight. Just in case, I now have 4 cans of fuel, so I can run it on high all night if I need to. So you guys can see I'm keeping my kitchen here, again, very basic, very simple. Just having a can of soup and some crackers and a little bit of fruit for my lunch today. And then we're going to set off and try and do some photography. We're going to go down along the beach, and there is a strange tree called the Tree of Life down there. We're going to try and take a look at. Don't know how photogenic it is, But that'll be our first photography stop on this trip. It's like 45 degrees right now, so this is hitting the spot. "73 miles of Olympic National Park is graced by the Pacific Ocean. The wind and waves end their 4,700-mile journey from Asia and provide us with the peace and tranquility of the sounds of crashing waves. Looks like we're coming up to the Tree of Life. The root system of this tree has been exposed by erosion. Although we are here enjoying it now, the unrelenting power of the ocean will one day claim this unique natural wonder. This may very well be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to preserve this tree clinging to life. Clearly this is something that's unique, but I also know it's been photographed quite a bit, and this isn't the best light to be doing it in. So really I'm just trying to get used to the new camera. So I set up and I did a panorama, and then I did an HDR panorama. And I'm just trying to get used to the new workflow. It's totally different than my other camera, so it's going to take me some time to be able to do the same things that I'm used to quickly with this newer camera. So I've got a bit of a unique situation here. My backpack finally broke. This zipper finally broke. So I can't swing this one around because this part's what's wearing out. So I have to use the internal compartment zippers to try and keep the camera gear all where it needs to be. So it looks like the backpack is going to get replaced before the lens. Most beachgoers look for a hot sun to lay out in and get a tan. Even though photography for me is part of the travel experience, I also have discovered the value of putting your camera down and enjoying the world around you, even if it means spending a winter afternoon on the beach. Well, I'm relaxed. I just took a nap on the beach. This is kind of like my downtime right now. So I went ahead and put all the camera gear back in the Jeep up at the campsite, came back down here. And I'll admit, it's a little weird, you know, laying out on the beach in jeans, hiking boots, sweatshirt with hood on. But my God, listen to that ocean. It just rocked me to sleep. So yeah, I took a little power nap in there. We are going to be heading on up to Ruby Beach pretty soon here and getting ready for tonight's photo shoot. Now, I don't know what we're going to get here because there are big rocks out there, so I'm hoping to take advantage of those. And we'll see with the sunset because I'm pretty much going to be shooting into the sun trying to get those rocks. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to try it anyhow. And also, I need to practice with this new camera so I can become efficient in using it. I am disappointed in that wasn't very clearly documented on the Canon website, at least I didn't see it. You see, my D7 was a crop sensor, and I am moving up to full sensor. My lens I'm using is an EFS lens. That's a crop sensor lens. And what I didn't know on the EOS R is that instead of getting to use the full 30 megapixels and for an image and be able to capture 4K video, when you have an EFS lens, you can only use 11.6 megapixels and only do it high def. So, a little disappointed there, but I guess it's part of upgrading your equipment. So I have to get that EF or RF lens sometime here in the near future so I can take advantage of the full sensor. Anyhow, guys, the sun's starting to get down a little bit low towards the horizon, so I think it's time for us to head over to Ruby Beach and kind of do a little location scouting and figure out where we're setting up for the evening. So tonight's photo shoot is going to involve sea stacks, rocks out in the ocean during sunset. So we're out here about 2 hours, 15 minutes till sunset. We're going to explore the area, try to find out where we can come up with some compositions and get ready for the show. Now we have some out here, but I think the more interesting ones are going to be over here. And because the sunlight, the evening sunlight, I believe will also be hitting this side of those rocks, I think that might be where we're going to go. So let's go walk the beach for a while. Something that I've been excited about on this trip is the prospect of capturing a sunset with sea stacks being pounded by the ocean. Will that happen tonight? This is a chance that I may never get again, so I'm taking my time to scour the beach for that perfect location. One of the challenges is going to be the people. Definitely going to have to use the cloning tool when I develop these images. But I'm going to keep on walking around here, try and find some locations, do some good compositions, and just wait for the show to happen. So I believe I have found the spot. Now, something I've been doing as I've been walking this beach is taking photographs of the area. Even though I'm not going to develop them or try to sell them, what I did is, because I'm going across such a large area here, I needed to be able to have some references to look back on so I can decide where I'm going to stay. And I decided this is the spot. Actually, there's a little ledge up here. It's kind of a climb to get to. I'm going to see if I can get my tripod safely up there and position myself to get a little bit above the waves here. Now this spot's pretty good. I do have a foreground element right down here that I could utilize if I decide to take this spot. Up there, I have a little more interesting foreground elements. I'm also slightly elevated so we can see over the water better. So, yep, this is the spot. Just a little more than an hour to sunset, so I think I'm going to just get back and relax a little bit. So I've got things set up here. I went up onto a rocky ledge, very uneven surface. So trust me, I've made sure that all three legs of the tripod are in a secure spot and every leg is tight. So this thing is not going to go anywhere. I'm also got it a little bit down low to help keep it more stable. The light is getting absolutely beautiful out here, and I'm hoping that we're gonna have an epic sunset. So less than an hour to go. I'm gonna take a couple of test shots here and just get ready for what I'm hoping will be an epic sunset. So one of the things about dropping a tripod, especially on a rocky cliff like this, is that you can't move. And you know, I'm sure there's lots of other images around I could be capturing. I am panning the camera around, doing my best, but that's just one of the sacrifices you have to make when you choose a spot like this. Now I have shot a couple of panos, hoping they turned out, not sure yet. But yeah, it's really difficult with waves moving in, getting them to line up when you produce the final image. But wow, what a beautiful evening. I'm enjoying this. So I'm going to put the camera up into a portrait orientation and try and shoot between these two sea stacks. They're right in front of me. There's some more in the background. We'll see what we can get. Probably going to have to do a bracketed image on this one because I'm really getting into a lot of dynamic range right now. So you just don't know when opportunity comes up. So I'm shooting straight at the sun in a portrait mode. I knew there was already some rocks out there. There's another set of rocks farther out to the horizon, and then you got the sun. That helps to create depth in your image. And the color that's coming out right now in this image is just amazing with the blue ocean and the golden sunlight. Well, that was pretty awesome, but again, one of the problems when you do put yourself in a position where you can't move is I did not see this. Beautiful. This probably would have been a more interesting place. Unfortunately, this is my only night here. But wow, there's a lot of color here. So yeah, just be ready. If you plant your tripod someplace that's hard to move, you may miss out on opportunities like this. Well, back at the campsite tonight and making some dinner. So we're having here in this can being cooked, little Dinty-Moore beef stew and a little applesauce, and then I am going to let the ocean sing me to sleep. Got the heater turned on in the tent, so we're going to see how well that goes tonight, and hopefully I won't freeze. That's it for tonight, guys. I am going to go to bed, let the ocean sing me to sleep. I got the heater running, it's doing great. I got little packets put in my socks so my feet don't get cold. I think I'm going to have a good night. So see all of you in the morning. Well, last night was a little bit rougher than what I would preferred, so I slipped in. Whew. I have to bring the heater out here. Anyhow, I'm gonna try making something different. Roast beef hash. Whew. As soon as this coffee's done. Whew. Gosh, it is cold. What I'm discovering is the smoke pot takes a lot of gas to heat. Thank God for the space heater. Come on, coffee. Well, might not look the most appetizing, but it's hot, it's good. The Hoh Rainforest consists of 24 miles of temperate rainforest. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a biosphere reserve. No other rainforest in North America has such levels of protection. With an average rainfall of 14 feet and an additional 30 more inches just from the mist and fog, we are lucky to be here on a sunny day. All right, so something I try to do while I'm traveling around, is to spend my money locally. So I'm on the road heading into, I think it's pronounced Hoh. If I pronounce it wrong, I am sorry. This is how you spell it here. But anyhow, the adventure store, about 6 miles in, and Bedford soda here. Marion berry cream. I've never heard of Marion berry, but here you go. It's pretty good. Dang, that's real good. Here we go, Marionberry. So a little bit of a traffic jam here. Well, road construction. So we're just waiting for the flag guy to tell us we can go. And well, what's happened is these trees are leaning over into the road here in the rainforest. And a big one just came down. So it looks like they're cutting some trees trying to keep the road safe. The problem is they just cut a tree down. I don't know how long this is going to take. This is good soda. So what I just did is I took some travel images, so to speak, portraits for magazines of the curvy road going through this very lush green rainforest. You have to remember that magazines that would buy editorial type stuff, they go vertical. So you want to make sure that you not only take in your beautiful landscapes, but think about magazines as potential clients if you're going to be selling your photography. All right, so I found green. That's all I can describe it. But here we have the sun coming in at us, and we have a lot of moss hanging down, capturing and just glowing inside that sunlight. So that's going to try and take. Now this is also going to be a good test of the camera's dynamic range, because, well, there's a lot of dynamic range. There's a lot of bright green and a lot of dark shadows. So we'll see what the new camera can do here with this image. Sound the silence. This is what I was looking for a very old growth type area. Look how dense it is and how green it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and take a series of images again and see how well I can merge these images together. And we'll see what happens. Especially what's going to be challenging is I have to continue to angle up to get more of these trees. Will Lightroom be able to stitch them together? Yeah, let's find out. Olympic National Park is just beautiful. I mean, the lake water here, I'm at Lake Crescent, unbelievably crystal clear blue. Really wish I had some more time here, but I got to start making my way back to Port Townsend so I can catch my ferry tonight. I've got a reservation on the 6:45, and if I miss it, then I might have to drive all the way around Puget Sound through Seattle, and I really don't want to do that. So this winter camping thing, trying, but very difficult. It's very hard on my lungs to be breathing that cold air all night, and very hard to get comfortable enough to sleep. So I'm pretty exhausted right now. Summer camping, not a problem. Winter camping, So I've got 2 more weekends that I can explore before I start making my way home. And I was planning on camping, but I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. Simply because, again, it's just so hard on my lungs to be breathing that cold air in all night, and it's so hard to get comfortable in the tent when I mean, I can't tell you how many blankets I threw over me, and I was still getting the heat sucked out from the ground. So very difficult to do that. But anyhow, guys, I just want to say thank you for watching. Now, yes, I could have broken this episode up into 3 or 4 other episodes, but I'm trying something new here, a little bit longer episodes for you guys since I'm down only 1 a week. So please let me know in the comments, did you like it? Did you not like it? What can I improve? What should I continue doing? And we'll see what I can do as I continue to start traveling even more as the COVID restrictions are letting up. Also, another thing, guys, please consider adopting a shelter animal need. And if you can't, please consider donating to your local animal shelter. So right after you hit that subscribe button, make sure you tune back in next week for our next episode. And remember, never stop exploring.